All right, Schlockmeister fans, I'm going to re-review from my previous channel. This one is Alice, Sweet Alice. Brooke Shields, let's check it out. Brooke Shields as Karen and her sister Alice.
Mommy said you wanted to see me.
Here's their housekeeper.
Who said you could go wandering around? I thought you had to go to the bathroom.
There seems to be some jealousy between the sisters.
I love you, Father. Tell I love you.
Karen gets a lot of attention.
Didn't I tell you never to follow me? Where's my dog?
Now we're going to meet the landlord for the first time.
Where are you going?
None of your business, Fatso.
Day of Karen's first communion, and someone's attacking her. Could that be her sister? That's the end of Karen. Unbeknownst to her family and everybody else, her body's being dumped.
Who's that? Father.
Well, at least he managed to get here before they put her in the ground. Please.
Still don't understand what that has to do with Alice.
Everyone knew she was the last one in the church. They want to talk to her. They think she may have seen someone. Annie, get the dustpan.
You see, she was going to hit me. It was an accident.
Stay still before you cut yourself.
It smells like cat's piss. My aunt says you should be reported to the Board of Health. Yeah?
You don't like your aunt, do you?
I don't like you.
You know why you don't like us?
No, you pushed up against me once before, you disgusting slob. You'll never do that again.
Seems like Alice is collecting some bugs. I wonder what she's going to do with those. Now we saw Alice just put on a mask,
Alice!
so we're clearly led to believe that this is her stabbing. But before she can finish the job, she gets discovered. And that victim lived.
I didn't feel it. I was saving it for you, Karen. You can have it.
Whoever did it frightened her half to death.
Where was she?
She was in the basement.
Who's doing this to me? Haven't I had enough?
So everyone's blaming Alice, of course.
Somebody tried to kill you.
Oh my God, Jimmy, it was awful. She stabbed my leg.
Alice is given a lie detector test.
6, wasn't it? Well, let's get to these questions, shall we, Alice?
Now, do you intend to answer truthfully to every question? Do you know who stabbed your aunt?
Yes, it was Karen. I told him it was Karen, but no one believed me.
Hey, the little bitch is dumping your machine.
Hey, stop that! Damn you, stop that!
I think you should know that my attorney is doing everything he possibly can to get Alice back home with her mother.
That's exactly what I wanted to warn you against.
But I didn't do it.
I know you did.
She's in some sort of girls' home.
Find out who did.
I saw Karen.
Look, many times we think we see things, and later we realize we were wrong.
And now it looks like her parents getting lovey-dovey again. Of course, he's already married to somebody else.
I love you. I'll call you there tonight. Bye. Listen, let me meet you somewhere and we can talk about it, okay? You know better than that. Has Uncle Don ever done anything to hurt you?
Angela! Wait!
But he's not dead. Now we get the big reveal as she's trying to push the body. It's the housekeeper.
You're that whore.
Her for me the day of her first teach me that children pay for the sins of their parents.
This really is. But is that really Alice? To the church we go. I think Alice is our next intended victim.
I promised the police. Tell my father that.
She wanted communion. That housekeeper is a sick bitch. As the chaos ensues at the front of the church, we cut back to Alice, who apparently swiped the bloody knife. All right, let's talk about Alice, Sweet Alice. This is a movie that I had on a beta tape that I got back in like 1986. I had it on a tape with Saturday the 14th. And one other thing, I think I rented these and copied it from a video store. Actually, it wasn't a video store, it was a hardware store. Coast to Coast Hardware in Two Rivers, Wisconsin. Long since out of business, but they had some movies, including this one. So anyway, this is a movie that actually was on cable also prior to that, which is why I tracked this movie down, although I don't think I ever saw it on cable. I just knew it was a horror movie, and I should get it, and I did. I've watched it a few times over the years. It has a nice sleaze value to it, if you ask me. We have Brooke Shields, and I think this was like her second movie that she made. She's like 9 years old here, and she has an older sister. She plays Karen. She has an older sister named Alice. Karen is the kind of the doll of the family. She gets all the attention. Alice is clearly jealous of her. And then when they go to her first communion in church, Karen is killed by somebody in the back room, and it's somebody in a yellow raincoat and wearing this weird mask. Now, we saw earlier in the film, Alice was wearing this raincoat and mask, so we're immediately led to believe that Alice killed her sister, which makes sense because there's a jealousy factor there. Well, the body is found, and of course, people start to kind of whisper, did Alice do this? The next thing you know, a lot of other people start getting stabbed. Well, I shouldn't say a lot of people, but other people get stabbed and killed also. And they keep seeing this person in a raincoat who looks clearly like a woman, small, kind of stout person. And everybody thinks it's Alice. Alice is even given a lie detector. Nobody really believes her. Alice is kind of a snotty little brat, too. She even breaks the lie detector machine by throwing it on the ground. They eventually send her to like a girl's home, but she insists that she didn't do it. She says Karen is doing this because she saw the person in the getup, and knew it wasn't her, so she assumed it was Karen doing it, which makes no sense since Karen is dead. So it doesn't lead a lot of authenticity to her story. Nobody believes her. Ultimately, we get a reveal near the end when another victim is tossed off this loft, where it's the housekeeper who has a similar build as a small lady. She's killing these people, although I don't know exactly what her motivation was. She mentioned something about her own daughter being killed at communion or something like that too. I don't know if I missed that or didn't quite catch it, but maybe she was just taking revenge on everybody else. Who knows? But eventually there's this weird confrontation in the church where she goes to get communion, does the housekeeper. She's even sitting next to Alice, who's up there, and we know she has a knife on her. But the police have found her now, and the priest says, I can't give you communion. I promised the police I wouldn't. And then she pulls out a knife and stabs the priest, and then she is subdued. And then that's kind of the end of the movie. Of course, the last scene in the film shows Alice, who apparently swiped the bloody knife. She pulls it out of her purse, or a purse. Maybe it was the woman's purse. I don't know. And then it's kind of led to believe that she's going to continue on. I don't know. But anyway, that is Alice, Sweet Alice. So anyway, actually, I enjoyed this movie. It's kind of, like I said, it's a really sleazy movie. There's this really large man who plays their landlord. He wasn't even an actor. They just threw him in there for the role. Very, very big man. And he's kind of gross and disgusting. It's almost like a perverted pedophileness to him. The way he talks to Alice, and Alice is rude to him too. Your house smells like cat piss. He gets stabbed. But you might remember that guy. He was in Bloodsucking Freaks. He had a small part as the guy who was paying for some of the white slaves, paying Sardou the slaves. He was playing an Arab man in that one. He died a couple years later, probably from obesity. He was a very, very large man. But yeah, it's got some decent gore scenes, some decent stabbing scenes, actually. They're very brutal and very realistic, if you ask me. So yeah, it's a cool movie. It was also known as Holy Terror and also known as Communion. Now, this DVD I have here was put out by Anchor Bay. I've had this for probably 20 years, if not longer. 1999, I think it says on here. And it's a nice copy. However, Arrow, I think, put out a nice Blu-ray in the last couple of years as well. I wouldn't mind picking that up at some point. So, but anyway, that is Alice, Sweet Alice. It's a cool movie. I think you should check it out and let me know what you think about it. Leave some comments. Watch the movie. Bye. Alice, Sweet Alice.